It's a good evening when you guys are here. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the new show, baby. I'm excited. I'm going to answer this question right off the bat. Star Wars is our podcast. Pop Culture Papi, our new show right here, is going to be for our Friday night live sometimes. It's going to be the reason why we're doing a format of a show is so you guys get a little bit more diversity. We're still going to do reactions. We're still going to talk about things that are important. I'll still be making other videos outside of that, but this is going to be a segmented show for you guys where we can discuss lots of different topics. So I think it's going to be really good. Welcome to the stream, guys. I'm excited. You guys are now pouring in for me. I'm just seeing you guys. Good to see you. Hope you guys are having a great evening. I'm excited about this because this show is going to give us the ability to talk about all kinds of different topics, and the podcast is always going to be a priority. And speaking of the podcast, I know you guys are waiting for the announcement of who our guest is, so we're going to get to that. And then during our show, we're going to kind of get to a couple different segments. I've got some stuff I want to talk to you guys about. If anybody's confused, again, I'll reiterate real quickly. We will still be doing the podcast. We will still be doing our live reactions. We will still be doing all of that stuff. This show is just going to be segmented things that we're going to talk about on lives. So it's going to be great. It's good to have you guys here. Okay, enough waiting around. No more games. You guys have been waiting for the announcement, and I'm very excited. Real quick, let me answer this question. The podcast is still called Star Wars. These Friday night lives sometimes will be called Pop Culture Papi, and in those we will be doing lots of different topics. When we do reactions, those are usually going to be one specific thing, and that will be a focused reaction. And then this show is going to be segments of multiple different things. So it's going to be great. Okay, enough playing around. So this last week, we finally made something happen for the podcast. I've been telling our members that we're going to hold on. If I could give a virtual round of applause, please give a round of applause for Ray right now. This is my guy. It's good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here. I wanted to say that last time, but we had so many chats and everything. We love our guy Ray, seriously. But our podcast episode that is coming out this week, coming down to it, we had Nate Eaton from East Idaho News on the podcast. This was an interesting conversation. I've known Nate. Okay, that's a stretch in a sense because I haven't gotten to speak to Nate personally until this. And I had so many different questions for him about the media side of this and his experiences. And I think that the conversation that we had was really different. And I think that the reason why it's different is because we're doing something different with media on this channel. And I think that that's what's making this so a different experience for us is we're taking a different look at how life works from a different perspective. But Nate has been covering this from the media side. And so I had a lot of questions personally that I've always wondered. And then I just asked him those things. And he was so gracious. He answered the questions. He sat with me and we really had a really good conversation. He said a lot of stuff that I had always had questions about. He answered them. And so he was awesome. He's a stand-up guy, and we had a great conversation. So this next Friday, let me pull up the date for you guys. I want to say it's the 28th, but I need to be absolutely positive. I know I looked at it before, and I will post this for you guys. So yes, next week on the 28th, I'm going to be posting the episode with Nate, and you guys can watch that with me live. So I'm going to premiere it, and I will be in the live chat. It will not be a live video. So this is a pre-recorded, obviously, conversation with Nate, but it will be live in the sense that I will be with you guys and we can converse since we have such a hot button topic about the word conversate. We'll get into that maybe on Pop Culture Papi here. I say conversate. I looked it up. There's a lot of controversy around that, but we will converse about the episode live as it's happening. So that'll be awesome. All right, so jumping into our show tonight, we are going to start with, let's just get the hard stuff out the way. There's a clip that was going around. I have not watched the latest trial from my mother. I don't even like to call her my mother. Let's call her Lori. And that is what we're going to talk about first. And then I have a couple more segments that I'd love to get to. I have not watched it, like I said, but this clip has a title that I was interested in. So we're going to watch, react to it, talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to jump into our next segment. So I'm excited about that. Let's get to it. It's good to see you guys. Yeah, this is going to be good. So this clip is a short. It's about 1:30. And this is something that happened in court that just happened in this last hearing.
On the 11th, that the state had not disclosed it, that there was some YouTube video of that. I have looked for said YouTube video. I have gone through the police report. I don't know what video she's discussing, but we're not aware of any video that hasn't been disclosed. So I'm just providing notice that disclosure is complete as to that police report that is peripherally relevant.
All right. Any comment on that?
Yes, Your Honor. For clarity, is the state proposing that there is no video or that they don't have to give it to me because it's not attached to that DR number?
I think what she said was she's not aware of what video you referenced. So as far as her knowledge, she doesn't have it and doesn't know about it.
So I should go directly to Gilbert Police Department to get it?
Well, last time you were in court, you said your investigator or someone told you about it.
A mitigator.
A mitigator.
Showed it to me.
If they have that link, why don't they just send it to the state, and that may help the state determine if that's something they've already disclosed.
I will tell you why they won't, because the
attitude, we've already talked about this. The attitude is really bad, and it's full display here.
Is my former team, and they will not do anything to help my investigator, my paralegal. They won't give us any information that they found. They won't talk to us at all because apparently there was a conflict. So they will not help us. They will not send us anything. They will not email us anything. They will not answer anything that we ask them to. So that has been the response from my former defense team. That's where we are.
So it's Lori versus everybody, literally all the time.
All right.
The judge's patience, bro. We bring this up every time. The judge's patience is huge.
You know, and maybe your advisory councils can speak to this. Did they turn over a file to you, or did you have to start from scratch?
No. From what I understand, all they turned over was the 22 terabyte hard drive, and that is it. They didn't turn down any notes, any work product, nothing.
22 terabytes? 22 terabytes. That's a lot. 22 terabytes is crazy.
That they had done to that point.
What?
And they continue to stand by that today, even though a lot of that information I gave to them, they would not give it back to me.
That's insane amount. You're absolutely right. All right. Well, that was it. So I don't know. Here's the thing. The reaction from me is really the same. I think that's another reason why we didn't watch the whole entire thing this time around. Is we're getting a lot of the same repeat. You guys know my thoughts. If you've watched the videos we've been going over this stuff, it's just going to be the same from here on out. I think it's going to get worse. I think the attitude's going to get worse, and that's tripping me up. The 22 terabytes, like my Xbox right here next to me, isn't even a terabyte. And I got some games on there, man. That's all, and it gets frustrating because I don't have the full thing. But like 22 terabytes is a ton. Exactly. I don't even understand if you could go through that much. How do you even have that much data? How do you have that much data? I don't understand that. I can't even understand that. But again, this is all ramping up. We're at a point where we know this is about to start, and it's going to be a hard thing. A lot of questions have come in to me personally about, are you going to go to the trial? Or are you going to cover it? And again, I haven't made up my mind as of yet. I don't know if it's going to be too difficult for me personally to be able to stomach it, or if it's something that I'm going to be able to get through and maybe help me process and kind of put this whole thing to rest. So I don't know yet. This is a perfect point. That's a lot of bytes. All right. That's a lot of bytes. Let's just, 22 terabytes of information. What is on there? That's like every movie in the world on that those terabytes. I wonder what's on there. But anyway, again, putting that to rest. I don't know exactly what the plan is for me specifically going to this trial and being involved. It's something that I'm sitting with still and I'm thinking about. And it's going to have to be one of those situations where I really feel that it's helpful and not making my healing and moving forward worse. You know what I mean? All right. So now this is the next part of our show. Okay. This is something we tried to do the other day, and I'm a little embarrassed by how it went. We tried to watch the movie Good Will Hunting. It's such a good movie, and they do curse a lot in it, but the overall message of this young man taking his journey, walking out his pain in therapy. He's a young man, by the way, in his early 20s, and he's working out his life. He's this genius. If you haven't seen the movie, I'm just giving you the backstory real quick. And he's working out his stuff in therapy. Now, this particular thing is hard, I think, for men. And I bring that up because there's a stigma around therapy. And I was that person, you know, I'm like, I don't need therapy. Like, I'll just go to the gym. I'll deal with it my way. And then when I was ready to actually put on and handle this stuff, I really do think therapy has been a pivot for me in a 180 of my direction. So I wanted to share this scene, and this is one of the most iconic scenes in the movie. Okay. But this is one of the most important things in learning about healing is when if you have a good therapist who's able to help you handle this stuff, it is life-changing. So we're going to share this clip. I'm excited. We're going to watch it. This is the most iconic scene from this movie.
What is that?
This is your file. Just send it back to the judge for evaluation.
Oh. Hey, you're not going to fail me, are you?
I'm going to switch this to this.
What's it say?
Hang on, I can see you guys.
Want to read?
Why? Have you had any experience with that?
20 years of counseling. Yeah, I've seen some pretty awful shit.
I mean, have you had any experience with that?
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
So, real quick, if you haven't seen this movie, he was growing up, he was abused by his father. And this is that meeting point when and you get to the meat of what's really behind everything. That trauma that's really hurting you, that trauma that's really affecting you. When someone gets to that point where they confront that thing, that big part of your life that is causing so many issues, that's what this part is all about.
Sure ain't good.
My father was an alcoholic. Mean fucking drunk.
Me too.
He'd come home hammered, looking to wail on somebody. So I'd provoke him so he wouldn't go after my mother and little brother. Interesting nights were when he wore his rings.
He used to just put a wrench, a stick, and a belt on the table and just say choose.
Well, I gotta go with the belt there, Vanna.
I used to go with the wrench.
Why the wrench?
Because fuck him. That's why.
Your foster father.
Yeah. So, what is it like? Will has an attachment disorder? Is it all that stuff? Fear of abandonment? Is that why I broke up with Skylar?
See right here. One thing I think is super interesting is he's already telling him the fear of what he thinks, projecting the fear of what he thinks that Robin Williams is going to say already because he knows his issues. And I think that's one of the things that really hits me about this movie is a lot of times you feel like you already know what is hurting you and you know the thing in your life. And so you're able to already kind of call it. What a therapist is really able to do and why this movie is so incredible. And I encourage you to watch it. We tried to watch it on the channel. We couldn't. I encourage you to watch this whole entire thing. Is what Robin Williams is able to do is help him confront it and understand it. And that's how you have breakthrough. So no one breaks through by saying, get over it, get better, move on. You got this. Stop being a baby. Do this. Or that's the tough love, or over coddling you, right? You'll never be the same, and you'll never be better, and you'll never stop being broken. That's not the point of all of it, right? What I think is so interesting to know right there is he already knows what his problems are. So why didn't he deal with them on his own? Why didn't Matt Damon's character, because he's already self-aware enough to know, oh, I have a fear of abandonment. Is that why I did this? Like he doesn't know how to deal with those feelings, but he knows what they are. And this is where the breakthrough comes in right here.
I didn't know you had.
I did.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Hey, Will. I don't know a lot. You see this? All this shit. It's not your fault. Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me. It's not your fault.
Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me, Sean. Not you.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
That gets me every time.
I'm so sorry.
Whew.
Fuck them, okay?
All right. So why do we watch that on Pop Culture Poppy? First of all, that's our pop culture for the day. No, but seriously, the reason why this movie to me was so groundbreaking is there's a burden that you carry from your life. And we have a tendency as people to, I feel like when we make mistakes, we're really hard on ourselves. And we can carry that stuff the rest of our lives or blame ourselves, or even if it wasn't your fault, right? And I'm learning the same thing. Like I had to learn a lesson, which I think why it's so personal to me is like I took so much unnecessary responsibility in my life for things that were not my fault. And I had to realize and let that go because it just holds you back. And in this movie, well, I think what's beautiful, and this is not to exclude my women out here. It's just to say that I think men have a way harder time sharing their feelings. And I think that men have a way harder time being vulnerable. And I think men tend to do that. Like, hey, just like, I'm good. No matter how bad it is, just kind of like, no, I'm cool. Like, don't worry about it. I got it. Like, try to be tough always. And unfortunately, I think that type of burden that weighs you down your whole life, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And people end up doing the unthinkable. Right. And I think I saw a comment earlier. Someone said the same thing, like Robin Williams ended up doing that. And what hurts me for people like that is you just don't see out of that place, that dark place. And next thing you know, you're making the biggest decision of your life. And so I shared that with you guys in that movie because I'm not saying you have to go to therapy to have a breakthrough moment. But what I am saying is those burdens just stay there and eventually they just make it worse and they just keep building like rocks in a backpack. And you're carrying that around until one day it either makes you fall down or you're willing to say, I can't carry this anymore. I can't carry this backpack anymore. It's too heavy. And that's when you can have that breakthrough. And if you have a good therapist, you can figure out, maybe sometimes you do have a hard time singling out why am I doing what I'm doing, right? The thing is, have some grace on yourself, love yourself, know that other people love you and that you're a human being. And I think we're really harsh on our culture. I think that we have a cancel culture. I think that we do things where our first thing to do is to judge each other and really pick each other apart. But I think that sometimes you just have to realize human beings are super dysfunctional, and sometimes you just have to realize that somebody might be doing something because of their pain. And unfortunately, that pain a lot of times undealt with is why so much of the stuff that we have in our world is the way that it is, right? So many, I did see a comment a couple weeks ago in our live. We actually highlighted this, that hurt people hurt people. I don't believe that. And now it might be more true that more people who are hurt do things and hurt other people, but you do have a choice. And so again, I bring that up to say, I hope that you know that no matter what burden you're carrying today, you don't have to carry it forever, and stop putting so much blame on yourself, because a lot of times it might not actually be your fault. And if it is, then you got to deal with it in a different way too. But sometimes you just carry around an unnecessary burden, and it's not worth the peace of your mind and the peace of your life. So got a little heavy on you. But I really wanted to watch that movie with you guys for that exact reason, is that we could watch that unfold. So when that moment showed up, it really did have the payoff. It's a great movie, and it's definitely worth watching if you want to do it. Exactly. And people deal with it in different ways. And in that way, he was pushing people away from him, right? There's all kinds of different attachment styles and how people deal with things. So some people push people away when they're hurt. Some people over attach to people, and we all do things and try to learn how to cope. Cause like, what's our first response of pain? It's like, I got to get out of pain. Our body just immediately, I got to get out of pain. I got to get out of here. So I think that that's what's so interesting, is like, your first response is, let me get out of this. But if you can only do it mentally, then you do. And then you form all of these things based off that hurt. But when you go back, walk all the way back to that hurt and finally face it, that's when that breakthrough comes through and you start to have a different perspective. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Now, let's not end on a sad note here. I did want to address one of these things that I just recently shared with you guys. And I do feel like it was something I was more, I don't know, just more ready to share with you. And I'll pull it up right here. And there's a reason why I'm sharing this with you. Okay. It's not just so I can show you my muscles. Okay. So I posted this for a reason. A lot of the questions that I get personally, whether it's DMs or people ask me about resilience. They ask me about resilience. They ask me about perspective. How did you make it? How do you make it through hard times? And I'm like, look, I'm just a normal human being. And when I was down, I was down. And the reason I posted this picture, stop. I told you, you can't, you get me going. Okay. Just stop. Skeeve, please. Sorry. Okay. Hold on. That's Garrett. We love Garrett. All right. We love Skeeve. All right. Shout out Skeeve. But I share this with you because I know what it's like. I know what it's like. Hold on. This guy just knows how to get me going, man. He just looks at me and I start laughing. I got to chill out. Give me a second. Okay. No, but the reason why I shared this with you is because my whole life on and off, I struggle with my weight. I was a bigger kid and I had a lot of self-confidence issues. And I actually stopped eating at like 13 and barely ate. I ate like a rabbit. And I was like, at that point, I was like 6 foot and 130 pounds, like 135. All I did was run. I was obsessed with getting in shape. And I had an unhealthy habit of like trying to get in shape. And like, I just like wanted to be in the best physical shape possible. And then throughout my life, I fluctuate as everyone does. And at this point, I was really healthy before all this started. So when I got married and like all that stuff, I was probably maybe 205, and I was in really great shape and I was healthy. Within a matter of maybe 8 months, maybe, I actually got up to 259. And that was not like I was bulking or something. Like I felt like everything in my life collapsed. And for some reason, I just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just a part of it. It's like everything in me was retaining pain. And I obviously I was eating poorly, but it was genuinely a reflection of how bad I felt. And being in that position made me feel worse, obviously. And I had a lot more self-confidence issues, and it really just made it worse. So I posted this because it took me years, right? It took me years to lose that weight. And I posted this because I didn't start losing weight till about 2000, yeah, so 23 I started losing weight. And it took me till maybe the end of 24 coming into 25 to number one, not just build muscle, but to lose that weight and to realize that I was hurting myself more. So again, this goes back to coping. I was coping with food and I was overeating. And I think that I just was so overwhelmed that food became the comfort, and it became just a part of, like, it wasn't something like, oh, I'm not feeling good, I'm going to eat. It was not even crossing my mind. It just became comfort. And I posted this as a victory, not to show you that you can get in shape, but that it's possible to get out of it. It's possible to put yourself in it, which I did, and pull yourself out. And I honestly can say when it comes to fitness, no one can do it for you. There's no pill you can take. There ain't no Ozempic out here, and there's nothing wrong if you are taking it. But I'm telling you right now, nothing can give you the drive and help you pull out of something more than you being in a position where you go, this is where I am. This is the full acceptance of my situation. Okay. I'm just going to use this if I can point at it more. This is the reality. And this isn't even the worst picture I had. I was trying to be a little flattering with myself and not give you guys the worst picture ever. But the point being, I put myself in the position, regardless of what my external situation was, I had to get myself out of that. So I wanted to also share with you how I did this. Okay. I had a comment, my first one. Let me tell you something. This was a victory for me. Okay. Someone said, steroids much? And I took that as a compliment. Thank you for that, because I'm not on steroids. And there's nothing nicer than when you're not on steroids and somebody thinks you are. That was great. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. But I say that because I started to walk. And this was for the mental part of walking, just going on a walk, and the mental health side of just being outside, breathing fresh air, and going on a walk. After I started walking, I started getting more serious about my training again. I started focusing on what I was going to do. And then on top of that, I actually started integrating in my cardio. And what I used to do is I used to go all in. I used to get really excited and I jump into these programs and I do these 30-day shreds. You can ask Kelsey about the 30-day shreds. I used to do a 30-day shred, and then 2 days later I'd break it. And then I'd have all these vlogs that I was going to do. Oh, 30-day shred. I'm gonna do it again. I'm going to do it again. I have like 100 videos from 2018, the beginning of the 30-day shred, because it was like, I wanted to kickstart myself and motivate myself and be like, okay, here's my spark. I'm going to do this. What this was slow, steady. And I'm finally at a point where I am healthy. I'm going to work harder to be healthier. Like, I'm changing my diet. I want to do some things to get in the best shape of my life possible. But it's all because I'm going to do it to be healthy first. And that comes with the mental side. And I think people really miss that part. And the mental side being, I have to also be working on my mental health, because if for me, example, if food's my comfort and I'm jumping to that and I'm trying to be healthy physically, I can't do both. So if I'm going home and eating and comfort eating, but also going to the gym, I'm counterproducting the two things. And so I just wanted to share this post again with you guys, upfront and personal, just because I always talk about fitness being a reflection of life. And the reflection is It's like a healthy mind, healthy body. It's real. And I can't tell you how important the gym is to me because it helps me mentally reset myself, physically reset myself. It makes me challenge myself. It gives me something to be accountable to. And it puts me in a position where I have to get better or stay stagnant. And I can tell when I'm stagnant. And so I bring that up to you because I cannot preach physical fitness enough. And I'm just talking about going for a walk. Do your favorite thing. Go ride your bike and get outside because this is tied to your mental health. And this is tied to getting outside is one of the best things you can do. Moving your body helps with trauma. This is something I actually just learned in therapy. This is not something I came up with. This is something my therapist taught me, is that trauma is like movement. And the more you move, the more that your physical body starts to calm down. So people with anxiety, I was one of those people. I used to have anxiety attacks all the time. I used to have to run outside even though I was in an open room because I felt like I couldn't breathe. I get it. I'm speaking from personal experience. You can do it. If I can do it, I guarantee you can do it. There's nothing that sets me apart from you. It's just all mental. And when you get to that place mentally, physically, I feel like your life starts to feel like, hey, I can control what I can control. I can't control my exterior. I can't control what other people do to me, but this is what I can control, is my mental and physical well-being. So I had to share that with you guys, just so you know, because I love you and I want the best for you as well. And you guys have been so loving and supporting of me. And I just wanted to share that part of the journey because it's real. And when I first started realizing, like, because I was going back watching my interviews with other people and I'm going, holy moly, like I did not realize how much weight I've actually lost. And I'm not the type to really pat myself on the back and say like, good job, good for me, or whatever the case is. But it really just was about that hard work. And I share it too, because you can do it if I can do it. I promise you. That's not a cliche. It's the truth. I used to be a personal trainer. I know what it's like to be with clients and watch them make that progress, but it's seriously one day at a time. Take it one day at a time. Okay. Now, I have two more things for you on our show tonight. I appreciate you guys being here, for all you guys who are spending your Saturday night with me. This is another thing about the mindset. And this is something I've been learning, a personal lesson I want to leave you guys too, is about how when you're presented with a problem in your life, it really is about the fact that sometimes you cannot go around this problem. You have to go through it. So we're going to listen to this real quick, show you guys what I'm talking about, because I think this was a really good example from a Navy SEAL, which I feel like you kind of can't lose here.
Usually what you really learn in the SEAL teams is that what you have to do is you have to be able to think, and you have to be able to look at complex problems, simplify them, and then implement solutions to them. And what you're really doing in the military is you're looking at complex problems on the battlefield, and you're coming up with a solution with your team on how to get those problems solved.
Okay, so raise your hand real quick. Raise your hand real quick if you are an overthinker. Mine's off screen. Mine's off camera. Overthinker. I will take the simplest of things, okay, and overthink them. I will literally overthink something for no reason. And it's because I think I'm missing the point. I would usually play like video games and I would miss the simplest thing because I overthought the solution. And people think, oh, well, no, you're just missing it. No, I genuinely thought you said something simple and I went, there's no way it's that simple. There's got to be more to it. What am I missing? I must be missing. I need to rehear what you said. And they're like, no, this is exactly what I told you. And this is what's so interesting is you're not missing it. You're literally just overcomplicating. So why do we do that? And how do we slow down? And how do we deal with problems? And overthinking is a problem. So how do we go do that? That's the point of this.
They're looking at these problems that they have in whatever industry they're in, and they're trying to find out solutions so they can execute them quickly and efficiently. You'd get these guys that were, a lot of the guys that would quit were guys that were running around thinking that they were super tough and acting like they were super tough. A little inner satisfaction watching guys that would just give up. And then eventually...
That's the point. He's saying that, and this is he probably was asked, why do people quit in training? And the thing is, back to the main thesis tonight, the main point of the whole episode tonight of our show was the mental power that we have is going to be the beginning. And the way that you apply your brain to your life is going to be the difference between your success and your failure. And I'm telling you this now because this is something I'm learning is first if you're tough on yourself, you got to find grace for yourself. For you to find grace, once you find that, you're able to encourage yourself when you can get to that point where you can talk to yourself in a way that pushes you forward and not negatively affects you, then you're able to flourish and you're able to go forward and you're able to do more. And that is one of the biggest things that has always crippled me the most is self-talk, being kind to myself, stop being so harsh and critical, stop overthinking, and really be in the moment. And I think that's one thing that I will say right here that I've learned from some of the best athletes, some of the most like when you listen to people talk about other exceptional people, it's really interesting that some of the absolute most exceptional people in the world have one main key ability, and it is presence in the moment. And I say that to you because how often are we thinking about tomorrow? Or how often are we thinking past this moment right here? When you have an ability to slow down and just breathe and be here, 90% of the people around you are not going to be able to have that skill. They have too much going on in their brains. So Michael Jordan's one of the people, if you watch The Last Dance, perfect example, somebody who doesn't get scared about missing a shot because he goes, why would I worry about a shot that I haven't taken yet? Why would I worry about missing that shot? I haven't shot it yet. What's the point of being scared of missing the last second shot? And I was like, I need that. Can I have some of that? MJ, can you pass that on to me? Because I would absolutely love to feel that confident in myself to say, I'm not afraid to fail because it hasn't happened yet. So why would I fear? I have one more thing to say to you guys too. Jules says, thank you, Colby, for sharing. Looking forward to more nights of your show. Also have a few laughs, shoe butts. Thank you for giving us a safe space. You guys know I appreciate you. Mama mentality. Love it. It's true. And that's the thing too, is like, it all starts with our mentality. It's really, really crazy. And it will take you, it will hold you back in your life or it will excel you. And it's one of those two things. And the hardest lesson is like another perfect example is I was listening to another Navy SEAL. I love Navy SEALs and their stories, and because they have to face so much adversity and they have to face adversity in life and death situations, right? How much more realistic can it get than somebody saying, I have to make a split decision and it's life or death on the other side. So I listen to SEALs for that reason. And I say this because there was a SEAL talking about how they were on their way to a mission. And one of the things they were told before they left was, we can get shot down easily. And there's nothing we can really do about it because we have to go. This was all about the bin Laden raid. And he's like, why would I sit here and worry this whole time that we're going to get shot down? If we get shot down, we get shot down. But worrying about it doesn't change whether that outcome is the possibility or not. So I'm trying to apply it to myself, guys. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am perfect, but these are lessons that I'm learning that I'm trying to pass on. That way you guys, at least I really hope that it's coherent enough for you guys to understand what I'm trying to learn too, is it really, really, really is all about your mentality. So we had a good first show, man. I'm excited. I really do think that our show is going to be, I have a lot of ideas for what we're going to be doing next. I think it's also going to be good because I want to be able to bring some people on outside of our longer form podcasts and have them come onto this show specifically. And we'll talk about just certain things rather than the podcast is more of a long form version where we're able to really dive deep. And some things we just want to talk about certain subjects. So it'll be really interesting to get some people onto this new show. And you guys are the first ones here. You guys are the OGs. You guys have the stamp right here, right now. OGs of Pop Culture Papi episode 1. Make your bed. Absolutely. And that's so crazy. It's like people say, put your socks on a certain way. Like just one thing that you do starts your day. Making your bed is such a big deal. If you get up and make your bed, it's a discipline. You already accomplished something right off the bat. You woke up, made your bed. You already accomplished something. Lulu, congrats on your health and wellness progress. I bet you feel amazing. I started working on and counting macros 9 months ago and I've lost 30 pounds and gained 3 pounds of muscle. Shout out to Orange Theory Gym. That's awesome. And congratulations to you. And you get it. That's your hard work paying off. And it's just slow and steady. Slow and steady. You guys have got it. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. I really am so grateful for you. I say this every single time, but I'm so grateful for you. Again, I'm working hard on making sure that our podcast has more interaction with people, but this show is for us. This show is for segments. I'm also going to be posting the community tab for all of my OGs that are here right now and for everybody else as well, that if you guys have something that you want to talk about on this show specifically, I will go in and do the research and bring it up as a segment on the show. So I'll be asking for your guys' input. I would love to be able to go back and forth with you. You guys know we've done the Zoom calls before. I like to read your guys' chats and go back and forth on that too. We can get into some debates on different things. One of my big debates that I'm really frustrated with, I don't know why, and we'll just do it here, but we're not going to get into too deep, is a hot dog a sandwich? And it bothers me. Why does that bother me? I don't know why it bothers me, but to me, a hot dog's not a sandwich. It doesn't even, what classifies a sandwich? Is it 2 pieces of bread? I don't understand. I'm getting frustrated just even asking the question to you guys. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I don't know. You guys can be the judge of that. We'll look it up on Google. There's going to be a bunch of different things. But yeah, we will get into different topics. That is what this show is going to be about. And yeah, I'm really, really excited. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. I will see you guys very soon. Again, just a reminder, next week, we won't be going live on Friday. We will be premiering the interview with Nate, and then I will be going live again Saturday night next week. So I'll see you guys there. But appreciate you. Love you. Thank you guys all for being here. And yeah, appreciate you. Have a great night.